Hey guys, welcome to episode 6 of Lyrical Outlook. In this video, I'll be talking about living in your truth, taking the lyrics from the Bee Gees song Stayin Alive. Also inspired by the movie Saturday Night Fever. What I do is I take the lyrics of the song and I break it down, giving you life lessons that I've learned, hoping that through the art of lyrics, I am giving you insights that are an eye opener. That doesn't mean that's what the artist or the songwriter wrote the song for. I'm just giving it to you from my perspective. So if you want to learn more about living in your truth, stay tuned to this video. As you guys know, I like to start my videos off with a fun fact, but first I would love if you like the content in this video. Please like, subscribe to my channel if you want to learn more about different life lessons through the art of lyrics. I also have a Medium page at Lyrical Outlook where I have content, poetry, flash fiction, as well as the same stories that I do YouTube videos on, I write a story for. So be sure to check out my Medium page. So a fun fact about the Bee Gees is that they are a group of brothers that grew up in Australia. They got their disco fame from the movie Saturday Night Fever. What happened was they were selected to write the music for the movie Saturday Night Fever, but they never saw the movie and they never got a script for it. But they still ended up writing songs for the soundtrack as well as writing the lyrics for the songs in one weekend. So that's a fun fact about the Bee Gees. So of course I got inspired to do this video from the movie Saturday Night Fever. But first I'm going to go over the lyrics that I decided to choose. So the Bee Gees song Stayin Alive, the verse that I took was, life going nowhere, somebody help me, yeah, I'm staying alive. And I can just think of how high pitched his voice is. You really know a BG song when it comes on just because of that high pitched voice. In the movie Saturday Night Fever, you'll know why I'm correlating Staying Alive with Saturday Night Fever and living in your truth. So the character that John Travolta played in the movie, he was kind of outcasted from his family. He wanted to dance. That was his passion. That's what he loved. That's what made him happy. But his family was very into religion, which his brother ended up pursuing being a priest. So he was praised by his family and they wanted him to be more like his brother. But he wanted to live a different life and be more following. He wanted to follow his passion. So when he hung out with his friends, yeah, they were his friends, but he also looked like you could tell that he didn't really fit in with them. They more associated themselves with him because he was popular when it came to being at the club. He got himself into situations that he didn't want to be in just from hanging out with them. And he had no interest really in what they were talking about or what they were doing. But he just hung out with them because that was an outlet for him in a way to get out of the house and feel like he's fitting in, but he knew deep down inside that he really wasn't. He really didn't fit in with them. Then when his brother told him that he had stepped down from being a priest, John Travolta was pretty excited about that. But I don't think it was because he stepped down. It was more because John Travolta felt like he was no longer the black sheep of the family. And he had someone finally that relates to him, that knew that they were only following something because their family wanted them to, and they had high expectations on them, but they wanted to follow something different. And stepping into that role of someone else's expectations of you, end up growing tired of it because that's not really what you want to do with your life. So throughout the movie, John Travolta gets very tired of the life that he was living and decided to change it. At the very end, he decides he wants to move, he wants to pursue dancing and do the things that he loves. After watching the movie, it had me thinking, am I just living or am I staying alive? Am I just working to pay bills, to take care of family, and then die? Or am I going to do the things that I love to do and live a life that's more fulfilling and successful for me? For a long time, I had these self-imposed negative thoughts where I didn't think that I could move forward towards the passions that I had. I knew I had to be a lot more disciplined with my planning, and working towards my goals would be a more difficult, not so straightforward way than working a 9 to 5 job. It's not as easy to discipline yourself when it's something that you love to do rather than something you are structured to do. Going out of the box is hard to admit to other people because a lot of people don't see your vision. So when you're telling everybody the things that you want to do and what makes you happy, they're looking at you like, why would you want to do that? Or you're already doing good where you are. Why don't you just stay there? You'll be fine. You'll have a 401k. You will have everything set for retirement. Even though that's not what I wanted, I stayed in that position because it was comfortable and I knew I was fine with retirement if I stayed there. But when you're facing your dreams, you have to spend your money, you have to do things that are out of your comfort zone. You have to put yourself in situations where you don't know the outcome. You don't know where you're going to go. You don't know if you're going to be successful. You don't know what your failures are going to be, what you have to change. And that's really hard to accept and move through. For me, I started thinking about a lot of the things that people around me or people that I knew would say, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. For example, they say, I want to go to Nashville. I've never been to Nashville. I always want to go there. And I'm like, why don't you go? Like, the plane tickets are cheap right now. You could probably get a cheap hotel. You should go. No, no, no. I don't think I want to go. I don't really like planes. Well, it's not that far of a drive. It's like an 8-hour drive. Why don't you just drive? No, my legs will hurt if I drive there. And I'm like, man, dude, is that what I do? Make excuses for everything that would make my life happier, that would put me in a better position? Because if I keep making excuses for things that I could easily change or face my fear for, then I could excel at what I want to do. It I have to at least try it. So I see that there's so many people that have these creative ideas, these things that they want to put into fruition, but they are terrified to take the first step. And sometimes you'll even have people that have guidance, that have resources that can help you get your business started, that are willing to invest in whatever creativity projects you have or whatever you plan on doing with your life, and you still deny it, you still push it away. Another example of that is, let's say you can bake and someone is like, oh, I have a friend at the local restaurant down the street. They'll sell your cakes by the slice, and all you have to do is give them 10%. Let's say that. And you're like, oh no, I don't want to do that because what if nobody buys my cakes, and then I'll be wasting money or I'll be wasting my cake mix. It's like, no, why don't you just try it to see how much money you can actually make? And people already like your cakes that you're giving them for free. So why don't you turn that into a business? We have to get out of that fear-based mindset of thinking that we can't do the things that we love, those creative projects. You can, those books that you want to write, why don't you self-publish it on Amazon and see how far it goes? We just have to take the steps towards what we want to do instead of thinking automatically before even trying. um we automatically are like, no, that's not gonna happen for me. I'm never gonna get there. It's too much. But what about that 9 to 5 job that you're working? Are you enjoying it? Isn't that too much when you're in a field or a position that you don't even enjoy, that you're spending majority of your life, years of your life working, you're tired before you're even the age 40 because it's something that you can't stand. It just pays the bills. But you have all this creative, this you have all these ideas inside of you that you can use, that you even do on a daily basis. You write poetry, you write stories, you write songs, you sing, you dance. You can turn those into creative projects that could potentially make a profit for you. Everything tends to revolve around the same things: work, school, friends, family, politics, sports, and religion. That's usually what someone's household is revolved around. When there's so many other things that we could be involved in that we choose not to, just because of the expectations of our family or the people that we have around us. Stepping out of that box and knowing that you might get outcasted from your family or your friend group just by pursuing something that makes you happy. I really don't see anything wrong with being a gypsy or a free spirited person, but that is so unorthodox and looked at as being, you're being rebellious, or you're rebelling against your family, you're rebelling against your friends, and you're really not. You're just setting yourself up in a position that is better for you, with a better network, a community of people that can relate to you and help you grow as a person, rather than that instill fear into you or doubt your doubt your passions and your goals, and also feel like you're being stubborn or rebellious because of the different route in life that you want to take compared to the normal standard route that everyone else takes. Feeling alive takes risk, and that's something that a lot of people don't want to take, is the risking failing. And even if you do fail, just quitting after that first failure instead of using it as a learning lesson on how you can grow. Maybe that's not where you should be. There's something else that will work better for you, or taking the things that didn't work and switching it around and seeing what does work for you, instead of fully giving up on your life and your life purpose, and being in your purpose and being happy with where you are in life. Sitting around fantasizing about that trip that you always wanted to take, that house you always wanted to build, that dream you always wanted to fulfill. You'll never get there if you don't try. And talking about it and continuously replaying it in your mind won't get you any further ahead towards your goal. Since we are the narrative of our own stories, we are in charge of our own happiness and being happy and fulfilling our own destinies and our own needs and wants and feelings. So if that takes you stepping away from people that no longer serve you to live your truth, then that might be something that you have to do. Even though it's hard, it's difficult to be alone sometimes, or even not really having a support system or people that believe you or help validate your mission, or your, the route that you want to go in. Sometimes we have to do that alone. I noticed that a lot of people don't really believe in you. They don't believe in what you're capable of until after you're already successful. We look at people that are successful and be like, why did they get there? How did they get there? Without even knowing how much blood, sweat, and tears they put into these projects, they put into their lifestyle. We don't know how many hours, they have put into this project, how long, the crying at night. We don't know any of the background really that it took for them to get to where they are. And a lot of us will judge them for being successful. Why are they here? Why are they in that position? Instead of asking ourselves, how can we get there as well? What can we change within ourselves that can help us live a more successful, happier, more fulfilling life, just like that person that got to where they want to be? It's not something that you can get rich overnight. A lot of these people that are successful have been building for days, for years, for almost their whole life before people even noticed something that finally went viral, that finally got them noticed. We just don't know their background, and we're so quick to judge them for their success. Taking the easy way out won't do much. Yeah, there's some people that get away with the get rich quick schemes and things like that, but majority of us have so many gifts inside of us that we're not utilizing, that we're so scared and we're self-sabotaging to avoid not trying and moving in a different route because of what other people might say about us, or how if we move differently will we succeed or not. And instead of our mindset being so focused on failure, what if we focused on, when I get there, how can, my life would be better, I would be happier, I would be more fulfilled. Even trying will probably make you feel better than always thinking your whole life, what if I would have done that, what if I would have tried to go here. And you get into a age, or get to an age where you're not even able to move anymore, and now you're like, damn, I wish I would have went to Hawaii when I had the chance, or I wish I would have started that business or tried to start that business back in 97 when I had the resources and the people around me that would have supported me through this process. And we give up so easily when you're heading on a road to be successful. You really can't give up. You can't listen to the outside noise of what everyone's telling you. You got to move in your own direction and continue to have that mindset of, I'm going to be successful no matter what anyone says and no matter how long it takes me. Instead of following the goals and ambitions and interests that we have in life, we use other distractions to move us away from what we really would love to do. Something that's easier, something we can do every day to distract our mind from what will make us happy. You see how we're always like, when we go on vacation, that's escaping reality to us. Like coming back and it gives us the motivation to keep going through the life that we don't really want to live. It's a quick escape of life, which, why can't our reality be our own escape? We should be able to form the life that we want to live, and that's what celebrities are doing. So why can't we change our mindset, which a lot of it has to do with your mindset, changing your mindset to a more positive outlook and being more optimistic about your life can really put you in a more successful mindset of pursuing your goals, letting go of the distractions that you have, letting go of temptations, addictions, all of those things that you're using as an outlet instead of following and using your time and your money and your resources to go after something that would be more beneficial to you. Standing in your own truth is hard when you have people around you that don't believe in you or also want you to be the way that they have molded you into being, or also feeling like you're being rebellious against them because of your own thoughts, the way that you think, the way that you move, having a different outlook on life compared to what everyone else is thinking. When you listen to everyone else, then you feel stuck. You feel like I can't move because I have to please them, this person, this person, this person, and you're not going to be able to please everybody no matter what you do. So you might as well stand in your truth, let whoever feel the way that they feel about you, but you keep moving in your own truth. One thing I struggled with for a long time was I always wanted to live a different life and move differently from other people, but I struggled with people pleasing. So I never wanted to make anyone angry. I always wanted to be the peacemaker and make sure that I wasn't rebelling against my family or making sure that everybody was good, and I put other people before I thought of myself. So when I started realizing how miserable I was taking care of everybody else's needs instead of my own, I realized that I wasn't doing a lot of the things that I wanted to or always wanted to do out of fear of hurting my family, hurting the friends that I had, or failing and not being able to or good enough to do the things that I've always wanted to do. Even when it came to moving to a different country or a different state, those are things that I've always wanted to do. Literally a gypsy spirit, but I didn't want to leave my family. I felt like I always had to help someone. I always had to be there for someone. So I put my life on hold to help everyone else but myself, who I'm the most important person. I only have one life to live, and I'm over here making sure everybody else's life is good while I'm draining my own energy, wondering why I'm not happy when that was the reason why. Being stuck in the same routines day in, day out, thinking I need to do the same thing all the time, not changing my ways, not changing my routines because it was easy, it was comfortable, thinking that life is going to change when I'm not even changing my routine. So, how can anything make me happy or move differently if I'm not even changing my ways or moving differently? Your life isn't going to change itself unless something, of course, drastic happens that makes you move. And sometimes that's why things happen to us, to make us move, to make us see things differently, to get out of our, shake it up and get out of our comfort zone. Another way I thought about it is, do you ever see those people that you know, co-workers, friends, family, whoever it is, that has so much potential, that's very intelligent, that's like a jack of all trades, knows how to do so many different things, but yet they do nothing with their life. And you're like, what are you doing? You're one of the smartest people I know, and you're settling here. That's one thing that had me thinking about my life. All of the abilities, creativity, ideas that I have inside. I'm like, am I settling having all of this potential that I could use towards something that could potentially change my life? I'm settling for this regular ass life, which we don't have to do. We think we have to settle, but we really don't. If we change our mindset into focusing on what would better our life and what our potentials are, we could be so much further in life than just thinking that we have to escape all the time. Deep down inside, you know your purpose. You know what would be more fulfilling for you, what would make you happier. It's really up to you to decide if you want to take a risk and go in a different direction in a way that will make you happier and more fulfilled, or stay stuck in this lifestyle that you know will never make you happy, will never lead you towards success. Even if you try a little bit, you have to keep going. It's not something that's just going to happen right away for you. You have these ideas, you have to stick to them. You have to be consistent and not really look for the outcome to be instant. Thinking from a material mindset was something I used to do as well. What would make me money the fastest? What could I do that would make me money, instead of what is my purpose? What do I want to do to help others? How can I serve other people? What can I do that would make me fulfill my purpose in life? So instead of thinking that money is going to help me be happy, I had to realize that fulfilling the things inside of me that I'm passionate about is what I need to focus on. My service to others, what can I do to help other people? Because I always wanted to be a counselor. I always wanted to mentor kids, but I ended up being an accountant, which was nothing like what I was passionate about. So how can I change the things that I'm doing in my life right now to align myself with what would be more fulfilling to my purpose and um, my passion? So I found that aligning myself with what is truest to me helped me grow as a person. I found mentors and people that were at a higher level than I was. Instead of having a jealousy mindset of how did they get there and I didn't, I decided to learn from these people, or what can they teach me that will help me grow as a person. We don't want to lose out on opportunities just because of fear, uh, jealousy. Our ego can get in the way of fulfilling ourselves. One thing that I learned is that the tools that we have are really inside of us. A lot of the tools that we need to succeed and follow our true selves is really within. A lot of what we want to do in our life is already there. We just don't want to see it, because that means that we're going to have to change, and change is scary. So we stay in a fear-based mindset, and then when we fear something, we just don't do it. We avoid it, completely avoid it, and then you repeat the cycle over again. And you have so many resources now with social media platforms and different internet apps, all of those different resources that you have to do. So there's one thing inside of you that you've always wanted to do, that you're just sitting on, knowing that you can do this. It's really up to you to go within yourself and figure out what is it that makes you happy, what is it that helps you to live your true self, your truth. Our rewards and successes all come in different ways. Just because something doesn't look successful to someone else might be fulfilling to you. So follow your own ideas, your own passions, goals, ambitions, because that's what you want to do. We were put here not to be like everybody else. We are very authentic within ourselves, but as we grow older, society molds us into a very standardized way that we should be. So, saying all this, I really believe that you have to stand in your truth if you want to move in a different direction, if you want to be happy with your life and live the life that's more fulfilling to you. You have to trust the outcome and trust yourself enough to know that you are good enough to do the things inside of you that you love, even if it's not material based where you can't make money from it or you feel like you can't make money from it. Do it on the side just so that it can continue to fulfill that passion that you have inside of you. You don't have to build all of these walls around you hoping that it shields you from your reality, because it's not. So, only moving in a direction that works best for you will help you break down those walls and open your heart. If you want to feel alive again in your life, you have to take risks. You have to get out of your comfort zone and do the things that will make you feel uncomfortable, but working through it, even if it's something that scares you, you still have to work through it. You'll be okay. Just try. You never know how far you will get unless you put your potential to the test and see how far you can go from there. In order to make your dreams a reality, you have to move through it fearlessly. Pursue your goals wholeheartedly with a positive mindset and staying optimistic that your outcomes will be successful. And I really hope that you start living in your truth and being honest with yourself on how you want to live your life, regardless of what others feel about you or the expectations that you have put on your life. Knowing that if you follow what everyone else expects of you, you're not going to be happy with the life that you live in the long run. So make sure you make this lifetime count to your best abilities, and I really hope that you guys really do the things that you love before it's too late. So I hope that you like this video. Please check out my Medium page, Lyrical Outlook. Comment below any topics and songs that you would like me to cover, and I will see you in the next episode.